with Lori Lightfoot's report. So a lot of people, I was looking at a lot of the comments in Dalton Politics and other places, and a lot of people said they were underwhelmed by her last report. Now,
Mhm.
I felt like her report, and again, I'm just speaking from my vantage point. I feel like her report was very detailed, and it gave just another picture for people who may not know. It gave somewhat of a picture of what has been happening at the
In the
township
village.
now and in the
There's in the
village.
village, not
Excuse
the
me, I'm sorry, it's
township.
the village. My bad, the
The
village.
village of Dalton.
So
Yeah.
some people are like, "Oh, it wasn't worth the money." So what do you think? Because I seem like it is, but what do you think as a resident?
So, my opinion on the Lori Lightfoot investigation was it was done thoroughly. It was done accurately as possible with the information that was provided to her. It also was done to give us any type of glimpse of where our financial standings is. You have to understand that the trustees have well, they didn't have any access to any financial records. So for years they were begging, hey, we need this, we need that, we need this, but nothing was given to them. Especially when Keith Freeman was in the role. He would not provide anything to the trustees because they knew what they were doing to underhandedly steal from our village. So with the Lori Lightfoot investigation, people are saying, well, oh, y'all overpaid. Y'all, no, we didn't. We didn't overpay. As much money as Tiffany spent on lawyers alone, it's not an overpayment. We paid for detailed information and financial findings so that way she could show, hey, the trustees voted this, the trustees voted that, the trustees voted this, the trustees voted that, but yet she spent this, she spent that, she spent this, she spent that. So it's checks and balances to everything that you do. And so her report was like more so a check and balance for the trustees to make sure that everybody see that they're not being held accountable for what Tiffany Henyard has spent. And a lot of people get mad at the investigation and what she's done, but it was thorough. In my opinion, it was done right. She gave us enough knowledge to know where we are at financially, and some of the findings she still doesn't have information or answers to. So again, she did the best that she could with what she had. And I give kudos to Keith Freeman for actually providing as much as he can possibly for her detailed report, as well as the trustees, because Tiffany Henyard was not going to give her anything. So we got to see at least a glimpse of what our financial status is right now in the township. So with my opinion, for the first report to the second report, I think she did a stellar job. I don't think that it was money wasted. And as a resident, I'm okay with paying her for what she did. The thing about Lori Lightfoot is they probably could have got somebody a little bit cheaper per hour, but look at the attention that she's getting when she do her reports. That's chess, not checkers. Remember that.
Facto. Listen,
So it
that's
makes
facts.
it makes complete sense because every time Lori Lightfoot is in the mix, look at the media attention.
Yep, yep. I want to play something. I want to play a clip of her because after she did it, obviously she sat down with who did she sit down with? I think she sat down with NBC,
Regina
right?
Waldrop.
Exactly, with Regina Waldrop, and I thought that was a good kind of follow up one-on-one conversation. She said some really good stuff in this interview. I want to play a little piece of it.
Okay.
Let me play this for you because this is something that I think people should kind of realize if they don't already realize. So I'm gonna play this real quick. This is a good. The people really should. This is really
Yeah.
good. This is just a section
Put
of
the
it where she
link
talks about something
in the details, and then that way people can click on that link as
for
well,
sure,
and
no
that way
doubt,
they can be able to see it.
definitely.
It's interesting you say that because Mayor Henyard is saying numerous times that people are coming after her because she is a black woman.
No, she's made a spectacle of herself. My family, my wife and I and my daughter, were in Houston last spring of 2024. My daughter had a AAU basketball tournament, and my wife and I stole away for one night to go to a local barbecue joint, but out of the main downtown area. And it's a tiny little place. You walk in, you got to queue up, you get a tray, cafeteria style, and get your food. And as we walked in, there was a table of older gentlemen that were sitting, and they looked at me, and I thought, uh-oh, what is this going to be? So we just kind of shuffled through the line, and as we got close and I was rounding the bend, I heard somebody say, "Excuse me," and I thought I was standing in the way. So I moved out of the way, and the gentleman said, "No, no, no, don't go away." And I turned and I looked at him, and he said, "Are you going to get that, Mayor Tiffany Henyard?" Now this is down in Houston. And then he quickly said, "But if you do, I don't know what I'm going to watch on YouTube." And in some ways it's funny, but the fact is she made a spectacle of herself, calling herself the super mayor. All this spending, which was basically like a perpetual campaign. How did that benefit the residents of Dolton? It didn't. And now they've got a big financial mess that they're going to have to dig out of. But I'm encouraged by what I've seen and heard from the residents of that town. They understand what good government is about. They understand what they should be expecting from their elected officials, but they've got to show up and vote.
Is that your message to them, show up and vote?
You have to. I mean, you look at what happened 4 years ago in the election that made Mayor Henyard the mayor of the village. Only 9.5% of the registered voters voted. I've really never heard of a turnout that low. So I just think your vote is one of the most powerful tools in a democracy. You cannot complain about the government if you don't do your part to make sure you get a government that you actually deserve.
So, that right there is like I
It's
just thought
powerful.
it's powerful. She said some other stuff too in regards to right before the beginning of that clip. She talked about how she was a little bit embarrassed, or the embarrassment of a lot of what's going on in Dalton, and
Hmm.
the fact that Tiffany Henyard is black. She represents a constituency who is black, and it's unfortunate that she did all of what she did because Lori was saying that obviously she was raised in a time where you got to represent your people right, and you got to make sure that you know in a time where it was hard to get, a lot of black people in positions of power. We fought to get people in positions of power and for her to do that. So, no, I was just saying that was really interesting how she talked about that. And I agree with you. I thought her report, it seemed very good. And I feel like, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I feel like her report is at least groundwork. It's material that could be used by other officers who want to prosecute.
You know what? I have it. Text me your email address. I'm gonna send it over to you so you can look at the full report as well. I
Oh,
think
okay.
she did an excellent job, and she did the best for what she can do with what she had. And I don't know what other people were expecting out of this report. I don't. I can't. I can't put into play like what their expectations was, but I feel like what we got versus what she gave is something that we never got before.
Hmm.
So we got to understand our financial findings. We don't get that right now.
But yeah, please send me that report. I love to see it. I thought it was a detailed report, like you said. And do you think it would be good material later on if she was prosecuted by another office, or do you like?
I do know that Lori Lightfoot did say that she sent that report to the feds. And from what I've been hearing, the feds can't actively come in the middle of an election.
Yes, I was going to bring that up to you.
Yeah.
And I don't know
So,
if other people peeped that because she said that I didn't know that it was actual law that they can't actually go and prosecute within 90 days of an election
yep,
because they don't want to, the feds, they don't want to be seeming like they are swaying opinion in an election. I had no
yep.
idea. Interesting.
Yep. So a lot of people are like, why haven't they came? Why haven't they came? Well, that, and I didn't know that. I just figured that out. So that's useful information to know because that's what we've been saying. Like they're trying to wait. I swear, I've been saying that. They trying to wait for the elections to be over, and then they're gonna come get her. I've been saying that. A lot of people are thinking that she won't go down. I honestly think that she's going to get some time. I don't know if it's the time that she deserves, but I think that she's going to get some time. So when it comes to that process, we just got to vote her out, like she said. We
Yeah.
have to stay the course. Election day is February 25th, and just vote her out of that seat. That's our only option. And
Yeah.
then once we get her voted out, the feds can take whatever report they got from Lori Lightfoot, and then they can put it into action. And that they already have the cancer charity, the $10,000 that Kamal Woods, Keith Freeman, her other people that worked for her were all part of that fraudulent charity.
Mm.
We have the $17,000 in T-shirts and hoodies that she stole. That's just, that's just taxpayer money. That you're the over $100,000 in trips, first class trips, and you taking all these people. You have not brought back any business to Dolton. She's ridiculous. And then she's like, well, people come to my meetings and they don't speak about what they need or I was being paid. Well, what are we going to talk? Why would we talk to somebody with their head down? It makes no sense because you're not listening. You're not going to answer us. You don't respect us. So why would we talk to you about the work that we need to be done? We can just hold off. You're not going to do it anyway. So we can just continuously hold off until the next people get into that seat. And then we can let them know our issues and concerns on what's going on in our neighborhood, in our community, because they care. They're going to listen.
Right.
They're going to do the work for the people. She is not out to do the work for the people. She's out for self-gratification. That's dangerous.
No, you're right. That is dangerous. And it really is. It's really crazy how far this thing has come. It really, really is.
It's like a movie. Like,
really
you
is.
could never write this script.
Yeah,
You could never write this script because it is so unpredictable right now. This is just, I don't even know what's going to happen Monday. That's why I encourage everybody to come out to the board meeting Monday. Because Monday, we don't know what we're going to get. That might be the very last Tiffany Henyard meeting. We don't know. You see